Hey there, welcome back to Silver Lining Art. My name is Anish, and today I'm going to show you the painting process of this painting and also talk about how uh, painting helped me rediscover fall and autumn season. Hope you enjoy the video. You would imagine that this painting that I made of the forest floor would have been painted sometime during the autumn season, that is when the trees shed their leaves. But in fact, this painting was painted in spring, which really made me think about the last fall, and I was astounded that I really couldn't gather too many memories of what last fall looked like. I was so caught up in life that honestly I forgot to look, and it really bothered me that I just let this beautiful season pass by me without even taking a moment to appreciate and acknowledge it. So this year I decided to change that, and I've been trying to go out and just explore areas around my house and where I live, but also really try to look. So I would go on walks, long walks, with the sole intention of looking at the leaves, at the trees, at the fall scenery. You get this beautiful smell of decaying leaves. It's like sweet, musky smell. That is a that the whole experience. I really wanted to make sure I cherish it. I try to spend as much time outside as I could, really taking the beautiful colors in. And I think painting fall scenes really helped me sort of fixate these memories and these times. Whenever I look at these paintings, it immediately transports me back to the scene because I've spent like at least a couple of hours trying to visualize this in my mind while I paint. So it's a really fixed memory. So and one of the things issues I had was I was spending so much time outside and I was getting so inspired to paint all of these paintings. But no matter what, it was really hard for me to bring the inspiration back home and paint something out of it. So I decided to take my painting supplies out and paint something at the creek near my house. There's this beautiful creek. It's got rolling water and uh, just beautiful fall colors, leaves floating around, really interesting things to look at, really lots of things to paint. And this was my first attempt at painting outside. The first attempt was this monstrosity of a painting. It was really hard for me to initially control my values and uh, because it was uh, since I was painting outside, it was cold and I was trying to rush it. I didn't wait for the paper to dry completely. It was hard to for me to really see how the edges blended together and the water was flowing, and I was trying to get that effect of the water flowing and all the pebbles and boulders I could see. And I painted some of these other things, and this is a leaf in the water and whatever this was. And I realized that maybe painting a whole painting is not the best idea outside. So I tried doing just little paintings just to bring some inspiration back. And this one really uh, caught my attention, this leaning tree, and that's what I decided to paint uh, after I got back. So I'm using the little sketch I showed you earlier that I painted at the creek as a reference for this painting. And I think it makes for a great reference because it shows me what I'm going for, but there are not a lot of details, so I can let my imagination run free. I can just have fun with it, um, and I don't feel like a slave to my reference. So I'm just adding the first layer, just putting in a lot of color, just trying to channel all the fall colors that have inspired this painting. And in this stage, I'm just having fun with it, trying to get to the vision of fall that I have in my mind with bright colors and all these trees. And you will see that I'm using this method to lift up color that I saw in one of David Smith's YouTube videos. And this technique seemed to work really great. I really loved how simple and
easy it was to lift up color from the paper. But make sure you use really good quality paper for this. I used Arches paper because you do end up scratching the paper quite a bit, and make sure you want to make sure that your paper still holds its shape while you uh, scratch it with your brush. So this tree that I painted, that I'm painting right now, it was leaning in to the creek. The creek here where I live in Ithaca, New York, uh, has shale rock all around it, and shale tends to be really soft and erodes very rapidly. So you often see trees on the edges of creeks leaning in because literally the rock underneath them has eroded, and will eventually fall into the creek. And this tree, when I looked at it, sort of looked like it was slowly falling in, and the branches uh, pointing out reminded me of a person tripping and flailing their limbs out in the air. Just seemed like a really interesting pattern of the branches and the white uh, trunk of the tree. The bark had peeled off, so you can see uh, the trunk is actually white in color, or almost white, which uh, gives the painting a really good contrast and makes the subject a lot more interesting. And I realized that I should probably put in some straight trees in the background to further drive home the fact that this tree is leaning. So in the background, I've put in a bunch of straight trees standing behind, just to again remind that this tree is leaning and not actually, it's not that the painting is crooked, but there's the tree that's leaning.
Hey, if you enjoyed the video, let me know down in the comments below. And if you really enjoyed it, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon so you won't miss another update from my channel. See you next time.